inside of a soundstage for most shows is that they don't have a ceiling built in because they use the ceiling for lighting. So they cut the frame off at the heads, and then they'll add fake light fixtures, but you never see a shot like the one on your screens right now. Superstore went above and beyond. They built a ceiling because of the fluorescent lights needing to be a main key component for a superstore. I always say this, I'll say it again, always look around, you guys. We've got a lot of things happening on the back lot right now, so make sure you're looking around all over the place. We've also filmed inside of the sound stages to your right for shows like Hollywood Game Night with Jane Lynch.
In Scrabble Times, Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo.
Hollywood Game Night filmed inside of stage 44, where they also filmed for the show called The Mayor with Ted Danson. Ted Danson also spent some time inside of these stages for The Good Place with Kristen Bell. Love that show, you guys. The Good Place is so good. We've got a lot of great content coming out of here. As soon as one show wraps up, another show moves in because all of these stages are rented. So once the show is finished up, they want to make sure they build the sets as lightweight as possible so they can move out as quickly as possible. We don't want to pay any extra if you don't have to. So all of those sound stages are used during the production phase because they're producing the show or the movie. On your left, you guys are going to see some of our pre-production offices. So this is where we're going to have, look at the nameplates on some of the parking spaces. You might recognize some of them. This is where we have a lot of our pre-production happening for production offices. We've got people like Dwayne Johnson out here. He just moved into our bungalows. We've got people like, Elizabeth Banks' production offices. Brownstone Productions are here. The De Laurentiis Company has bungalow 5195. And in fact, we're coming up to bungalow 5195 now. And you'll see next to the numbers a familiar silhouette. Bungalow 5195 was home to Alfred Hitchcock for many, many years. After Alfred Hitchcock Presents, he moved on in to Bungalow 5195 and spent a lot of his time there creating some content. Like I said, it now belongs to the De Laurentiis Company. You can see the DDLC little logo next to the side of the building as well. Two more sound stages off on your left-hand side before we leave the front lot and enter the back lot. Good Girls is a show with Christina Hendricks, Mae Whitman, and Retta, and they film inside of stages 23 and 22. And they also film in our back lot. Now I'm specifying between front lot and back lot because the front lot is a lot of stuff behind closed doors. So it's either going to be inside of sound stages or you're going to have pre-production or post-production offices all in the front lot, and then in the back lot, that's the exterior stuff. That's the stuff that gives you really good photos, that makes you feel like you're in a different city, you're in a different location, you're in a neighborhood, and that's where we're going now. Our back lot is where all of the big exterior shots are filmed. Keep an eye out to your left because you're going to see some of our New York Street. It is closed off because of production, so we cannot drive through New York. But you can get a look at the Lyric Theater, which was featured pretty clearly in Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. They had him come out of it after a production, came out there. She was looking very, oh man, I'm losing her name. Don't worry about it. Mary Jane was looking for Peter Parker on the other side of the street, all in that little corner there. They've also turned that into the 1940s for Captain America First Adventure. It was used as Chicago and the Blues Brothers. We're always changing up those sets all the time. But there are things that are always going to be here specifically for the studio tour. That includes our King Kong 360 3D. So if you guys have your 3D glasses, get those ready. You're not going to need to put them on right away. We're going to hear from Peter Jackson first, and then we're going to roll on in.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV.
Alright, you guys, make sure you stay seated the whole time. We are entering the Skull Island, so hold on to your loved ones.
Okay, glasses on everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Yes, it is. Can you wipe it? No. You just take it off back and cut it off.
You can go ahead and take off your
Why?
beauty glasses.
You just wipe it right now back and cut it off.
But don't throw them out of the window in a fit of rage. You need
It's
them
on the
there.
camera. Where? Like on the lens.
You guys are a little bit from Peter Jackson, but he didn't do this project alone. He worked with Weta Digital. Weta Digital are special effects artists. They've worked on things like The Frighteners with Michael J.
Still
Fox.
running.
The screens that we just had, it's about a 2.5 minute long experience all told. The screens are 180 feet long and 40 feet tall. Now I want to pause it here so you guys can get a look at what the room looks like with the lights on. The screens are massive. They were the world's largest 3D screens, but we've outdid ourselves, you know? Universal was like, nah, we've got this. We're going to get even bigger 3D screens, and that's why you still need your glasses. But what's impressive is you can see this was the world's first of its kind. So they had to really think about the process of creating a fully immersive 360-degree 3D experience. So we've got these platforms where the tram locks into place so it can interact with the motions on the screen as Kong jumps up and over the tram. We feel it as we dip down with the hydraulics. It was pretty impressive. Speaking of the tram, you guys, we made a little special appearance. They included a little cameo for us. They brought in the tram to make it feel even more immersive. And the second the tram shows up, well, now it's a picture car. Got a fancy new name, and it's got a whole new role on screen. A picture car is any vehicle that shows up on screen. It can be used to establish time period.
Yeah, about it.
She gets hit every time. Furious has another movie that just came out. Fast 9 is out officially. Universal has a lot of franchises, including the Jurassic movies. We've got the original three, Jurassic Park,
Is that already recording?
and Jurassic World, right? That's going to be a trilogy as well. But it started with Jurassic Park. We all love it, we all know it, and in fact, we can see a couple more of the vehicles on your screens here, but that's not close enough. I want to get us really close, especially to the mobile lab. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just go to Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh, thank you so much. What a wonderful welcoming. More picture cars and props from the Jurassic Park movies. Nothing here is from the Jurassic World movies, but they're all from Jurassic Park. Actually, I want to set the mood a little bit more. Oh, that's so much better. On your left, check out the mobile lab that was on your screens. Look even closer, especially on the back side of it, you'll see that it's made out of plywood. Another one of our tricks to keep vehicles nice and lightweight if they need to be moved around this set. You guys, I have to apologize. Those dinosaurs are normally caged up. Seems like they escaped, and if you got spit on, I would wipe it off as quickly as possible. You should be fine. I don't need to cause any alarm, but that's not a guarantee or a promise, so good luck to you all. And in case you're wondering, the rest of the tour just goes downhill from here. That joke's for all the dads. The mobile lab was used in this scene with my future husband, Jeff Goldblum. If I say it enough times, it will happen. I'm manifesting it. Thank you. Say it for me. Say it every night as you go to sleep. This scene here is even more intense because of the unpredictability of Mother Nature, right? We've got a lot of rain, we've got a lot of thunder, lightning, but we can't rely on unpredictability in filmmaking. We need to make sure we have control over everything. So, we use lights and sound to create lightning and thunder. In Old Mexico, we're going to show you how we can effectively create a storm. Now we want some rain, so we're going to trigger our sprinklers. Overhead, the rain is going to just come right out of those sprinklers, falls naturally to the ground. Day of filming, we're going to add lights. Make sure you can see the raindrops as clearly as possible. They are about 3 times larger than regular raindrops, so that you can actually capture it on film. Do you guys want to up it a little bit? It's too romantic. It feels like this is when like the leading lady runs into the arms of the man and they kiss. But I want something a little bit with more action, right? Okay, so the romance we're cutting. Instead, we're gonna add a flood. Let's kick the flood up. All right, you guys, make sure you stay seated as we roll on out of here. That whole flash flood was used in Big Fat Liar. What's Paul Giamatti, Amanda Bynes, and Frank Muniz?
That's what you get. That's what you get. That would have been you. He's being
Big Fat
generous.
Liar, they are all over the studio. They're everywhere. In fact, they run through Old Mexico here on the drier area of Old Mexico where they filmed for the Three Amigos, Chase Dean Martin and Martin Short. They've also filmed out there from Westworld. It was a golden town in Westworld. The benefit of being on the back lot, it kind of does two things for people like you, right? On a tour, you realize everything is so close to each other. And you're like, how do they get away with that? Well, it's because everything is on a turn, right? We've been constantly turning and curving because if you have a turn in the road, then the viewer will just fill in the rest. So you don't realize that our Western sets are right next to the Old Mexico sets. Because, well, they are. It's not actually a huge road. It's just a tiny little space in our Western sets. This was used in Quentin Tarantino's movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt all walk the streets of these Western sets. This is also where all of our classic Western movies filmed, right? These sets have been here for a very, very long time. John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, Kirk Douglas all walk the streets here. Dirt roads are brought in, right? They don't always stay there, but they have a company that will provide a dirt road for you because this is Hollywood and there's somebody for everything. Just to check in for you guys, we're about halfway through the tour. Stay seated. If you have an emergency, pull the red emergency cord located over your heads. That includes if you drop anything of value, make sure you pull the red emergency cord. After our Western movies, Universal transitioned into monsters. If you look to your left, you guys can see a little bit of Park Lake, where the creature from the Black Lagoon once lived. It's since been cleaned up. We've added a fountain, and now it looks beautiful. But our monster movies with Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, the Wolf Man, they all filmed inside of our Little European sets. But currently, Little Europe still glows from when it was The Good Place. You can see the little sign that says welcome to The Good Place and the neighborhood number and everything because these were the exterior sets for the show that stars Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on.
I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going.
All right, really quickly, I want to pause it because this is a great thing to look at as we round the corner and you can see the undressed version of the yogurt shop. The show wrapped. They're no longer filming, so all of the details have been taken away. But on your screens, you can see what a set director or what a set decorator will do. What the props and the art department will come through and add to the space. They add tables, they add chairs, they make sure the vines look pretty and new, and those are usually fake plants all along the side of the building. And of course, they paint yogurt on top.
Bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
The Little European sets have also been used as Genovia, The Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement. You've seen it as Tortuga and Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp. And just around the corner here, you can see a space that never got used by The Good Place, so it didn't get a facelift, right? The sets are still a little bit falling apart. Universal, as long as the buildings are structurally sound, we're not going to fix any of our buildings because that's a look that somebody might like. A location scout comes through here, sees a building that's falling apart and says that's perfect for my horror movie. Or they see that building, they really like the look of it, and then they pay to fix it. It's a win-win for us. As long as it's structurally sound, we don't fix it. This is the only soundstage that we can drive through Stay seated, but keep your cameras out because we get a chance to kind of see what they've done to it for the next production. This is what it looked like when they used it for Bones. With David Boreanaz and Clay Deschanel. You can see what new props have been brought in. How they can tell you where you are with just using a sign. Like this is San Francisco now. We traveled so far. This company has some product placement on the walls with American Express and some Coca-Cola. They didn't do... Just a little bit of a tremor, guys. We should be fine. Just make sure you stay seated and hold on. Okay. You guys, it seems like we've got a little bit of an earthquake, so we're going to be all right. Just hang tight. I would like this to be over, but I think the water main just broke. We just survived an earthquake. How's everybody feeling? Is everybody okay? We're good. Got some blues. Got some smiles in the back. Sam, how you doing? She's all right. I'm okay, in case anybody is wondering.
What's going on?
All right, here's the deal. I do need a little bit more of some R&R. Shook me up a bit. I did not bring my sunscreen, but I think that's the worst thing that can happen at Amity Island. So I'm going to take a breath, I'm going to relax, I'm going to enjoy the waterfront view. That is a shark. That is a shark. Okay. It's cool. It's fine. Somebody's in the water? Somebody's in the water. Okay. Can't be good for that guy. That person is not okay. I don't know. We're going to clear the area. I like that. I heard that on the radio. They said clear the area. We're going to do just that. We're going to clear it. We're going to stop right here. This feels good. Just behind the gasoline. You know, I have made mistakes in my life, and I feel like stopping here was a mistake. We should go. We should go. That's so much fire. You all just met Bruce. He's the best. I mean, look at him. He's so eager to get back into first position. He will defy nature, swim backwards, and get ready to scare again. He's the best. He just loves his job so much. That is not the same shark that was used in the movie. It is not, okay? The shark that was used in Jaws was mechanical and also named Bruce. They had three. They had three different mechanical sharks. One was the full body, another one was just the head, and then they had one that was the full body but also had like a slight opening on the side. None of them worked.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, "The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working."
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark worked well enough for a while there and had the biggest hit all time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
It was a rumor for a while, but it has since been confirmed. One of the sharks did not work because Steven Spielberg wanted to play with it before they started filming. They played with it. They literally wanted to take a picture inside of the shark's mouth and broke it. It's cool. On your right, you guys can see one of our largest practical sets, the Chicken Ranch from, they used it in the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton. I called it practical because they can film the inside and outside and all around it. Not all of our sets can do that. Most of our exterior sets are just used for exterior shots. The insides, not so pretty. But some of them are practical. They're slightly built out or they're semi-practical. But most of them are shells. If you look through the windows, if the light is just right, you can actually see straight through some of the homes. They don't have anything going on inside. We're inside of one of our most talked about neighborhoods, by the way. This is what I like to call Colonial Street, what we call Colonial Street, but it is well known as Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives. The houses do look different though because other shows have moved in and have filmed throughout here. Like if you look straight ahead as we round the bend, you'll be able to see a blue house with a staircase that was built for the show Abby's with Natalie Morales. They filmed out here with Mark Paul Gosselaar for a show called Truth Be Told. And if neither of those titles sound familiar to you, it's because they were canceled after one season. It happens. It's okay. It's the industry. Sometimes a show gets picked up and then people don't watch it and it gets canceled. But I think I hacked it. I figured out the solution. You guys just have to watch more TV. Tell your kids, watch more TV.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
What the heck? Let's move that.
Now that area has been there for years. I mean, they've used it for The Burbs with Tom Hanks. They also used it in Casper. They use that neighborhood all the time because it's really easy to use, right? It's a fully formed neighborhood. Why not? But then when you get out of it and you see the space around it, you kind of look around and go, oh, what is this for? I'm going to ask you to think about it like a cinematographer, like a director of photography. If you look at this as if you're watching a screen, right? You're looking at it through the camera lens. Well, this is perfect for a crime to occur. It's where a lot of bodies have been found for a CSI, crime scene investigation. This is where you could go on there was a nice little dirt path where you could go on a walk in the middle of the woods, right? It's all about finding something out of what looks like nothing. That's the beauty of the creativity of filmmaking. You can kind of create a lot using the fact that you're only selecting what your audience gets to see. As long as you don't turn the camera around, you don't show the stop signs, you don't show any of the other stuff around them, you're in the middle of the woods. It's perfect. In fact, you can take what looks like an abandoned plot of area, right, just a giant concrete slab, and turn it into a production lot with picture cars. It's perfect. It is a little strange though because we don't really have this many cars usually parked out here, and I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the neighbor. Right next door is the Bates Motel from Psycho. We have a lot of people checking into the Bates Motel, but not as many people checking out, so I'm wondering if that has any relation to one another. It's cool. Norman Bates runs this place, and he lives just at the top of the hill. You can see Mother's house all the way in the distant future. Mother's house, where Norman Bates lives. But here's the thing. We lie to you a lot as filmmakers. We have to utilize our space as much as possible. So the house, which feels like it's a million miles away, is actually just up the hill and built on a 3/4 scale. It's built smaller so that when you're looking at it from down below, it looks further away. More perspective gives you that illusion. And you can see the staircase doesn't actually connect to the house itself. There's a gap. But it looks good when you're all the way downstairs. Look upstairs, you can say hello to Mother. Always say hello to Mother. You want to be on her good side. In Mother's backyard, well, this is the most impressive crash site. You guys, this is from War of the Worlds. She goes. We use fake materials all the time. We use, wood to look like metal, but not in this case. In this case, Steven Spielberg and the team decided they wanted a real airplane. That's a Boeing 747. It was purchased and destroyed all for the crash site in the movie War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay?
Thanks.
You got them closed?
Sorry.
Robbie, get in. Get in.
We're about 10 minutes to the end of the tour, so just another reminder, if you have a medical emergency, if you drop anything of value, pull the red emergency cord, and I'll come back to help you out. That plane crash site is a practical plane crash site. That means the actors got all of the materials right there in front of them. They got to interact with everything, and because it was physically with them on set. That's not always the case. Behind this cabin from the great outdoors is a giant blue wall where they filmed this scene from Sully with Tom Hanks. They fill the concrete basin up with water. They add the airplane. They add the background actors. They add the rescue, right, the little rescue boats. In post-production, though, they take away the blue screen and they add the rest of the Hudson River. They add the New York, New Jersey skyline, and they add the sky. And now, you've gotten rid of the mountains in the background, and you've turned it into, well, the Hudson River. It's a little bit of a different acting technique, though. It's harder when you're not interacting in the same space, right? It gives it a little bit of a trickier approach to the scene. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to test your acting chops right now. We're going to go into Fast and Furious Supercharged. You do not need your glasses right now, but I am going to ask that you dig deep, okay? I need you guys to find all of your acting skills and hone them for me. Because we're going to do 3 scenes. Scene number 1, we have just entered Sullivan's trunk repair. Somebody on the tram is a witness to a crime that Shaw committed, and now we're hiding out. So your motivation for this is to be confused and concerned. And we're looking for answers.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next building.
Alright, that's a wrap on scene 1. Moving on to scene 2. Your motivation is to dance if you want to, or you can leave your friends behind.
right, don't move. Deal? That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not...
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's like that. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. Got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Try to move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Scene 3, this is the big one. This is the final scene of it all. You guys, put on your 3D glasses. There will be stunts involved, so sit tight. Your motivation here is to just go with it. Have fun, you guys.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After that!
Okay, guys, it's showtime. Come on, look at the left. Feeling on the last one. Roman, Letty, hook him up.
I got the move by the horn!
Now we're moving.
God, look out! You can be the witness to the call of the day. I'm not company!
Who did it? What happened?
I did.
Carl took the blame. You guys hang tight. It seems like we did have a technical malfunction. So stay seated, sit tight. We're finding out right now. Sam's on the phone just finding out what's going on. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put on the party. Because we can. Gotta keep the spirits up, y'all. This is my favorite thing to do because then you can watch the background actors as they dance. You guys, the party is over, the music is off. We got a little bit of our Fast and Furious finale in the dent. We are going to head on back home. I apologize. Get out the field. Do you hate me now? Have you turned against me?
Come on.
I will take it. Look, I'm getting compliments in the front car, and I'm going to assume cars 2 through 4 are doing the same thing, because that's what's going to give me life. I thank you guys so much for joining us today on the World Famous Studio Tour. Give it up for Sam. Give her a round of applause. I was your tour guide, Georgie. I appreciate you guys so much for joining us and going with the flow, even if there was a little bit of a hiccup at the end. I really do appreciate you guys. It's 6:15. You still have so much time. The park closes at 8, so you still got plenty of time to hang out and enjoy the park. Check out the Jurassic World ride if you haven't already. It's just been revamped. It's phenomenal. If you haven't checked it out, they added some really cool new effects and some new dinos to check out. I highly recommend it if you haven't done it yet. The park, like I said, is open until 8, but you can get more updates on like wait times using the Universal Studios Hollywood app. So if you want to get that, you can check it out. These studio directories are located throughout the park as well as one of our exit areas, so you guys can see what the wait times are on the studio directories as well. You can also check out the new ride, the Secret Life of Pets, which is really sweet. If you haven't checked that out yet, it's our newest attraction at Universal. Where is it? If you come, alright, I'll say this on the mic so if anybody else is wondering. If you go upstairs, it's not in the lower lot, it's in the upper lot by the Starbucks, it's kind of on the corner. Go past the Starbucks and you'll see like the Walking Dead, and then you'll go a little further and you'll see the Secret Life of Pets. It's cute. I highly recommend it. It's like a dark ride. Alright, you guys, make sure you grab all of your belongings, and that includes any trash you may have accumulated. Your pretty glasses can go in the dark blue bins, or the trash will go in the brown bins. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.